Should we go to All Out?
Yeah.
In terms of All Out prediction, we didn't kind of finish the NXT Takeover predictions, but Jack won. Me, Chris, and Matt all finished on 2, so we all owe £1.33 apparently. Very specific amount. All Out though, me and Matt, we drew with 6 correct predictions. Jack with 5 and Chris with 2.
Shut up.
We then put it into a vote. Sorry, Matt, I won.
Of course you did. I haven't won a single vote this year, despite winning more being in more votes than anybody else.
It was one. The last one that me and you were in was so close because it was 50-50. And it's literally because you kept tweeting it out and I'd stopped. I was just like, I tweeted it once and you was like tweeting, and I think you must have been like ringing your next door neighbour's cat or something to get them to vote.
You're an absolute fuck. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, all out. I didn't watch this until I watched it over 2 days because I was so tired after getting back from work.
I
did it on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't have the opportunity to watch it live because I would have been so tired. But the woman casino battle
is the worst match I've ever seen in my entire life. Every single spot was botched, and we missed half of them anyway because the camera crew didn't give a shit.
There were many wrestlers that I didn't know who they were. Is it ODB? Everybody was popping for it, and I was like, who?
Isn't he dead? Is an old dirty bastard dead? He died a long time ago.
And one of them was Emma from WWE.
Oh yeah. I was quite glad to see Tenille Dashwood.
That's her, that one.
So I love how you go from Emma to then having a really long wrestler's name. Love it. You love to see it. But yeah, she. I was glad to see her in a wrestling ring again on TV.
I'm really concerned about the women's division in AEW. The fact that the production was as bad as it was says to me that nobody there really gives a shit.
How bad was that production? Because all I've seen, I mean, you guys were talking about it, and then I saw the same things coming up on Reddit and all that sort of stuff.
So they missed 4 of the 20 eliminations.
Nice.
There was bits where they were focused in on people who were just, kicking people in the corner like you do in a Royal Rumble whilst there's an actual spot going on.
Excellent.
And you just missed the spots, and it happened repeatedly. Like the crowd were going mental, and you're watching somebody get kicked.
How hard is it just to leave it on the hard cam?
I don't know what they were doing. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure they had a pervert because it was quite often they would be focusing in on the backside of a particular woman.
I know it'd be funny. Tony Khan was doing all the camera angle, was doing Kevin Dunn's job.
Well, he needs to be moved on from that job fairly quickly. I would say, because we had issues with the men's battle royal at Double or Nothing. There were spots missed in that as well, but this was just ridiculous, the amount of spots that were missed. We then had, I'm pretty sure every single one of those women had at least one botch. The one there was one that stood out to me between Britt Baker, who I thought was probably the best woman in there, and Bea Priestley. There was a botch between them. Mercedes Martinez, who again I think looked really good in the Mae Young Classic when I've seen her. She had a couple of botches as soon as she came in. It was just absolutely all over the place. I don't know whether they didn't have enough time to prepare for it, or whether they're just not as capable as WWE have made some of these women look. But if that's the AEW women's division, they've got some issues that they need to sort out.
My thinking with the women's division is it's going to be centered around Bea Priestley, Britt Baker, Ali, and Awesome Kong and Nyla Rose. That's literally it.
But they will cut so much from the IWC if they do that, because they've said they're going to be different. They've said they're going to pay their wrestlers equal pay. Equal pay is all right if it's your standard salary, but if you're not getting any pay-per-view money because you're only getting one match on a pay-per-view like WWE do, that's not equality. No. So, and they've been all about equality since they they've sort of brought the women's division into the kind of the limelight. And so far, we've never had more than 2 women's matches on a 10-match card, which is not equality. So they need to either stop talking about equality when they're talking about it, or they need to start doing what WWE need to start doing, which is building women's matches not around titles or men. And we've not seen any of that yet.
The biggest thing with this is the internet again went into absolute meltdown because Nyla Rose won it, and that's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, and I personally don't think she should have won it, but that's just because I think Britt Baker is a better wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. The reasons why we think Nyla Rose would win it or shouldn't win it are legit relating to wrestling, whereas some people were saying she shouldn't have won it because she used to be a man. She shouldn't have won it because she's stronger than all the other ones. And the best reply I saw to this was, hang on, you're trying to say that she's got an advantage in a predetermined environment.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely stupid. Like, anybody saying anything along those lines about Nyla Rose just needs to jog on, really. But
there was some at the last paper after the last one at not Fight Fest. The other
Fight for the Fallen.
No, it was Fight Fest because I don't think she was at Fight for the Fallen. But then this one, I just saw internet going to meltdown, and I just thought, you know what, these people need to just join the modern day and just sort their lives out.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume she'll win it on the first TV show.
Well, she's going up against
Rio,
which happened later in the night.
And they kept saying on commentary that Rio was only 97 pounds, which when Nyla Rose is 240 or whatever, they're clearly trying to big it up to be this David and Goliath thing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I think we've talked enough about that battle royal. Private Party versus Jack Evans and Angelico. I thought I kind of was in and out of this match, but once it got going, Private Party looked good.
Too much flippy shit for no reason.
Yeah,
and
it can seem that way.
Whichever one are B-Tech Street Profits got really annoying after a while.
Private Party. They're all right. The guy who keeps going, woo! Like all the time, that's him tracking Montez Ford. And it's just a bit, can you not?
Yeah. Can you not like try and have your own gimmick rather than stealing somebody else's, please? But
I think they'll be good in the tag division. They're going up against the Young Bucks, aren't they? First TV show, which would be quite interesting to see how they work with a high caliber tag team like that. I'm not a big fan of Jack Evans and Angelico, to be quite honest. Their ring gear makes me want to vomit.
So, and like I say, far too much random flippy stuff that wasn't even to do with the match from both sides, where they just like do a backflip to get in the ring, or do a backflip and walk past somebody. Just too much flippy shit for no reason makes Matt sad.
Yeah, going back to what you said about the production value of the Battle Royale, I think it's just the production value of the pre-show.
Yeah, you could be right there.
Because the main show, apart from, I think there was 2 little bits that I noticed, and one of them was at the end where you could hear them counting Chris Jericho down, 5, 4, and I was like, well, this is going to end in 2 seconds, isn't it? But other than that, I don't think there was anything else that I've noticed that I could...
Yeah, you're right. Looking at the cards, I don't think there was much missed on the main roster, but it was that first Battle Royal.
The other thing I do like is the win-loss record on the when the name comes up.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That sounds like a nice addition.
So what they've done... So obviously we've had enough matches now that they could do it. They didn't do it with people who haven't had any matches, really. Or I don't think they did it for certain types of matches. So I think like the Derby and Jimmy Havoc match, I don't think they did it for that because obviously it was a triple threat. So you can't really say singles record. They did it for mainly. I mainly noticed it for the singles record. So like for Chris Jericho, it was 1-0. For Adam Page, it was 2-0. And it's literally just at the side of their name, which I thought was pretty cool because they dubbed this as, they are. We're treating this in some ways as a sport with wins and losses. and they mean something. So I actually really like that little addition.
Yeah, good luck booking in 6 months' time when everybody's got a loss and they can't find anybody to go for the title. But
who says Jericho's not going to lose in 6 months?
no, but he'll need an opponent, and everybody else will have lost the match and won't be able to go for the title.
Kenny must be like what, Norton 3 now or something.
He's and Cody's 4-0 or 3-0.
Nice.
No, he's 3-1-0 because he had a draw.
Did he? Who did he draw with?
Derby.
Jesus Christ.
Fair enough. Don't remember it, but I believe it.
Soul Callan Censored versus Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt.
Luchasaurus is the greatest wrestler of all time.
I love him.
Love him.
Second greatest because Jimmy Havoc exists. But anybody...
Luchasaurus is over as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, how can you not be over as fuck when you do a proper chokeslam and then do a standing moonsault as the cover?
Legend.
What a guy.
Absolutely amazing.
Marco Stunt is there clearly for let's throw you around.
He was the bit that let this match down for me a little bit, but I quite enjoyed the match. I really enjoy Luchasaurus. I mean, I
really like SCU as well.
Yeah, I do like SCU. I think they're going to struggle because they're so tweeny, even though they're supposed to be a heel team. I think that might hold them back at some point, but I like them.
The Cracker Barrel Clash.
You've skipped a match.
No, I haven't.
You have.
What have I skipped?
Because Kenny Omega was next.
It's not on here. Omega was after.
No, Omega was before Havoc.
No, it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't.
100% Omega was before Havoc.
Well, it's not on the Bleach Report list.
Well, Bleach Report have got it wrong.
Well, Bleach Report are the ones who make the live shows. Okay then, Kenny Omega versus Pac. This match is how close can you get the ring to the crowd? Mainly because Mr. Pac did a kind of top rope jump off the whatever torpe suicida and nearly killed his knees because he clubbed himself straight into the barricade. And then there was another one where someone landed on the barricade as well. Just like, you need to move them backwards. Yeah,
and also, did you notice later on when in the next match when Havoc tried to set up a table, it wasn't long. Like, he couldn't pull the table out and fit it lengthways by the ring, but they clearly needed it for a spot. So he's there pushing the barriers back into the knees of the people in the front row to set a ladder up. So they clearly haven't thought, like, there's stuff in production that really needs work at AEW.
And they'll get there. They are a new company. I'm sure they'll get there over time.
But this Pac Omega match, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I didn't see Pac win. I can't remember whether I voted for Pac, but I don't think I did. I think I had Omega winning because he really needs a win. But considering he was the name for main event scene when they first started, everyone was saying he was going to be the first title holder and he was going to be the one they built the company around. He's lost 3 matches now.
Oh, can he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with this is you knew Pac wasn't going to lose because it's his first match in AEW.
But Pac could lose.
He can, but
could and should have lost.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think that they can do is they can do what New Japan did at the start of this year with Omega and have him go on with Okada and have him go on a losing streak and then have to reinvent himself. The problem with that is most of the AEW crowd won't be New Japan veterans and therefore won't really know what his wrestling style was like and won't know that he's reinventing himself.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think he even got a One-Winged Angel in either.
No, he set up for one.
And that's when he did the Brutalizer, which I think was a great finish.
The way they did this finish as well, with him slowly starting to bend over and then going onto his head and then slowly kind of... Yeah, it was...
Flipping over, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. It was... I don't know why, but I kind of struggled to get into it to start with, and then all of a sudden it kind of picked up. and I was like, right, okay, this match means business. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think that was the match I gave the best match of the night for that particular company.
The
Cracker Barrel Clash.
Go on then, the Cracker Barrel Clash. You've got a problem with this, Matt. Hit us with it.
My problem is Jimmy Havoc didn't bleed enough.
Oh, for goodness sake. I thought there was a legit reason why you hated this match.
Like, what's the point of Jimmy Havoc if... I mean, like, I've got one other problem as well, which is Joey Janela's a pussy. And I'd like... So instead of normal pay... So when Jimmy Havoc does that, I'm going to, like, do your paper cuts between your fingers, with a normal person, he just runs paper across your fingers, and if he cuts you, then tough titties. But Joey Janela clearly had said, no, you can't do that. So he had a laminated piece of paper, so it was never going to happen.
Which would be more painful.
No, because paper's got
I've cut myself on laminate.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, I should know these things.
Very rough edges. Laminate, if you run laminate like that, it's not going to do it. You need to, like, stab with laminate. And the way Havoc had been told to do it was to pull away and then go sideways, and it was very, very clear. Whereas if you've
especially when you zoom in on his hand.
Yeah, but if you've ever seen him do anything in progress, he just runs paper between your fingers, and if it cuts you, it cuts you. Just get over yourself.
Absolutely.
But
paper cut's not going to kill you, is it?
That annoyed me a little bit, and the fact that they didn't bust Havoc open. So we've still not seen a Jimmy Havoc match in AEW, and this was supposed to be that. They were telling me that this was going to be the Jimmy Havoc announcing himself to AEW fans. And yes, he won the match, and it was funny that he didn't break the barrel with the superplex, so he then picked him up and did a Carter finish, whatever it's called.
Rainmaker. The bit that and I'll talk about the match first, then I'll give my probably very rubbish opinion. Darby jumping off the top with a barrel onto a steel step. He died for our sins.
Yeah.
I love Darby. I love him.
That coffin dive is fucking brilliant.
Because he did it in the Cody match.
Yeah,
what are you doing? Oh, you are actually a nutcase.
So he's done it onto the hardest part of the ring, and he goes, "What's worse than that? I know.
A barrel onto some steps,
onto some steel steps whilst holding a barrel
from the top rope." He also brought in a skateboard with thumbtacks underneath it. We had thumbtacks in the mouth of Jimmy Havoc. However, I don't think many landed in his mouth.
No, quite a lot. And then they taped his mouth shut, and the tape fell off straight away. So they had to then tape his mouth up again. And they taped him in the corner, and then he was like, "Jump on me! What are you going to do?"
Yeah, Joey Janela had them in his back, the tacks in his back, which was great.
Yeah. And I think my favourite spot was literally the bell goes, Jimmy Havoc goes to the outside, picks up a staple gun, comes back in the ring, puts it against his chest, staples his own chest, and goes, "Come at me then, bitches." I quite like that.
Well, we talked about this on the podcast before, but the match at Riptide between Jimmy Havoc, Keith Lee, and Matt Riddle, where he throws himself through a table to try and get a fall because it's a tables match. I was like, that is just Jimmy Havoc. The biggest problem that I have with this is, can we see them in a proper match?
Oh, don't do that because it fucks with everyone's audio. Yes, we can see them in a proper match.
Because
Jimmy can wrestle. Let's not forget that. We know Jimmy can wrestle.
Jimmy's proved in the matches that he's had so far that he can wrestle.
Yes, but I don't want it to be a case of where we have, it's Darby. He's going to be in this no holds barred match. It's Jimmy Havoc. He's going to be in a death match.
Unless there's going to be a hardcore title.
They either need to have it, or we need to not have them every pay-per-view.
They've got at least 3 people in there already who are quote-unquote sick fucks. You've got Marty Skull coming in November when his contract's up. He's a sick fuck as well. So...
yeah, I mean... That's
not what I've heard.
Oh, fuck. No. Well, where's he going then? What you heard?
NXT.
Fuck off. No way. He's not going to NXT.
Potentially. I'm sure. I can't remember who told me. It probably might be Kev, and Kev seems more knowledgeable than I am. So I kind of believe him.
It's the Melty Boy.
Huh?
Nah.
Kev just listens to Melty Boy. He pays for Melty's podcast.
No, I'm sorry, but no. He's joining up with his boys at All Elite.
I was going to say he's best mates with what's his name, isn't he? One of the books.
Nick or Matt?
Yeah, one of them.
Cheers, Jeff.
Shut up.
Then we had Best Friends versus the Dark Order, which, to be quite honest, I couldn't give.
Don't care. Move on.
The Dark Order won. The Minions, however cool they were the first time I saw them, don't care.
I think they're going to transition well to TV. Maybe not pay-per-views.
The thing that I saw somebody say about the Minions, and it's like I can't look at Dark Order the same anymore. And the Minions look like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Glass shatters.
And
bring out the Gimp.
They really do. But also, if you've noticed, they're all like a bit overweight.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah.
Zed's dead, baby.
Bring out the Gimp. Sorry. Pulp Fiction is one of my favourite ever movies, so I love Pulp
Fiction.
Quotes over days.
Tarantino films are absolute fire.
But yeah, so that's what Dark Order are. They are the Gimp leaders.
Cool, we'll move on. Riho and Hikaru Shida. Guess what? Didn't care.
Guess what? Riho won, and I'm fucking livid because all of you got that right, and I didn't. So you're all
It was
cunts.
quite a good match. Hikaru Shida looks like she'd have been the better opponent for
Nyla
Rose.
Brandy Rhodes?
No.
I mean, Brandy will be a title holder in 6 months. We know that, but yeah, she's not going to be at the first one. I know she can't wrestle, but she'll still be title holder.
She'll be Chris Jericho for the title.
I mean, possibly. She is Stephanie McMahon after all.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
I think the only reason why I was trying to get through this in 2 days, and I think one day I was watching it, and I literally was so tired that I fell asleep watching it because I didn't care.
What's he done, mate?
Which is horrible because this is women's wrestling and it makes me sound like a proper pig.
Yeah, it does.
To be fair, he also said he didn't care about the last match, so
Yeah.
I just don't.
You don't like gimps or women? Is that what we're saying here?
Also, I've just remembered at the end of the Dark Order Best Friends match, we got
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy came out and he did a tope suicida with his hands in his pocket.
love that. I saw that. That was fucking incredible.
Completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
How did he do that?
I couldn't do one if I led with my hands. How the hell did he do one and lead with his head?
He led with his head. Didn't he land on his feet afterwards or something mad like that?
Yeah, crazy.
The Minions things. He kept his hands in his pockets, got to his knees, got to his feet, and rolled back in the ring.
The thing
he did take his hands out of his pockets at one point, though.
He was back in the ring.
See, the thing with it is, the thing that got one of the biggest pops is Orange Cassidy ran somewhere. He never runs.
Yeah, he ran to do the tope suicida. People were like, he's running!
It was fantastic.
Yeah. I've not seen much of Orange Cassidy.
I love him.
That
honestly,
that's what it's like. If he's laid back and then does stuff like that randomly, I'm loving it.
There is a fantastic match. I think I've mentioned it before, but please watch this. It's what's his name? Colt Cabana and Orange Cassidy in a match where Orange Cassidy starts the match holding a beer. That's all you need to know. Go and watch it. It's fantastic. Just go and find it somewhere. I'll link it at some point. I'll put it in the DM group.
I'm sure it'll be on Power Slam TV.
Oh, it's not. It's a YouTube one.
Oh.
It's like a back ass fucking indie company.
I tried. I'm sorry. I didn't do my best Chris Jericho impression.
We need some Omaha steaks. A little bit of bubbly.
Did I tell you? I know this is a massive tangent, and I don't.
No, we can't do tangents. We're an hour and a half in. We can't do tangents.
Did I tell you about the story of how there was Omaha Steaks reference in Glow?
No.
Okay.
There's Omaha Steaks reference in Glow.
So in Glow, they go to Omaha and they go to a steakhouse, and she says something about Omaha Steaks, and because it's a wrestling TV show, I kind of laugh.
You got a pop. I'm certain that was intentional.
I think it was. But
Was this season 3? Because if it was, then it's obviously very recent. Because I've seen season 1 and I think half of season 2.
Yeah, it's season 3.
It is random. Fucking Kate Nash is in there. How fucking random's that?
Awesome Kong is also in it.
Yeah, she's awesome in that. She's awesome Kong. As is James. No, who else is in it?
James Morrison, Carlito, Chavo,
Alex Riley. Alex Riley. Say it to my face. Alex Riley's in it.
No idea what most of those names are.
Say it to my face is my favourite wrestling theme ever.
Cool.
Say it to my face.
We've lost Chris. He's gone. Chris
I mean, you lost me because I've no idea what you're talking about.
Alex Riley. Alex, say it to my face, Riley. Oh, he got such a good run in WWE, didn't he? Anyway, moving on. Tangent over.
Cody versus Sean Spears. So Cody had MJF. We didn't know who he was going to come out with. There was clearly issues with his entrance. Because
why are you bringing a dog out with fireworks
and pyro?
What kind of dickhead cunt are you?
He apologised for that. I read it. I saw all this going online.
I don't give a fuck. Do not bring a dog to an event with fireworks going off. You're a dumb cunt if you do it. You need to be fucking arrested.
He got in a lot of trouble with Tony, apparently. Tony Khan was fucking livid about that. And Cody was saying that he didn't expect the big one. The big ones weren't supposed to go off.
Doesn't matter. He said. No pyro is acceptable with the dog around. None at all.
Because you could see it in the tunnel, and then it was going. They
dragged it onto the fucking stage.
Everyone was very disappointed in Cody for that one. Brandy was disappointed. Tony was very disappointed. And Phoenix shouldn't fucking be there. Phoenix? Pharaoh. That dog shouldn't fucking be anywhere near a pay-per-view.
No, I totally agree. It's like, if you're going to go WWE and have no pyro, it's still, I mean, taking a dog into an arena full of people screaming and shouting like that, it's not going to enjoy it anyway.
You could argue a horse isn't a good idea either.
Fireworks? No, yeah. I agree. They're just, animals isn't the best.
Horse Helmsley.
Oh, you twat, Smooth.
That's what they called it. They called it on Being the Elite. They called it Hunter Horse Helmsley. I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did.
Because I saw it on Twitter and I was like,
bad.
It's so good at the same time.
But it's just them, like, again, referencing WWE. You need to stop.
Don't tell Cody or I'll hit it with a sledgehammer.
Probably. Bruh. Fucking. Fam, you. Sledgehammer antics, man. Nice one. Fucking hell, mate.
Oh dear.
There's the tagline: leave 5 stars or Matt will promote animal cruelty somewhere in this fucking podcast.
Hey, I'm not the one that fucking did any of the animal cruelty.
Nope, Cody did. You're just.
Yeah. So this match was a letdown.
Were people expecting MJF to turn on Cody?
No, surely that's going to be like, it's going to be a fairly long build to MJF.
That's going to be surely for a title.
I would assume when Cody goes for the title, MJF then turns.
But it's just like the only thing that I remember about this match was Arn Anderson.
Yes, of course, the Spinebuster for Big Arn.
That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else.
You see, I know it was very, very sports entertaining, the match with the old guy that's Sean Spears' mate who used to hate Tully Blanchard. Him getting involved all the time and MJF getting involved at the wrong times. And it was very sports entertaining. But of all of the wrestlers that we watched throughout the entire weekend, the one who put on the most convincing show in terms of offense, I thought, was Cody. The way he was throwing punches and kicks and all of his moves, he had so much passion and just kind of energy behind. You genuinely believed that he hated Sean Spears. You genuinely believed that in the way that he was attacking him. I really enjoyed that side of the match.
There's too many.
I'm 27 and I never watched any of the wrestles when Arn Anderson was about.
This is a question for you quickly. Does Sean Spears come across as a credible heel here? I saw his entrance and I liked that.
I would suggest that there isn't very many credible heels out there in either WWE or AEW, and I think the issue is once to be liked, basically nowadays you have to become a heel at some point, but then people get behind you because you're good at being a heel, and then you get the wrong reactions.
Becky,
so you've got the likes of Becky, you've got Charlotte,
Stone Cold is the biggest one.
Yeah, I mean, you always see that the best way to become the best face in a company is to become a heel, because people get behind you if you're good at what you're doing.
It's the balance between being a face and not being a cookie cutter, or being. It's basically being a heel with babyface tendencies, i.e., Stone Cold. So basically, he'll kick the shit out of you, but he'll kick the shit out of you to defend you.
Yeah. The issue everybody's got at the moment is there are very few heels that can keep the crowd against them, because most of the time what will happen is you get a situation. The only one I can think of recently is Ciampa was such a heel against such a stone cold babyface that was Gargano that he was getting the right reactions.
Yes.
But if you look at most of the other heels, they get cheered on the way. Like Undisputed Era, you would call a heel faction in traditional terms, but they're so over that they just get cheered all the time. So I think that I don't really think there are any credible heels in AEW at the moment.
I think Adam Cole is on his own without UE. He is. I mean, you watch the Gargano Cole match, where at the start of it is very much Cole favoured, and then over time, and during the match it changes.
He's done it in both matches, hasn't he? He did it in the normal 2 out of 3 falls and the most recent one.
Yeah,
indeed. So the ending of this match, I am big bugbears with. At what point was it a DQ match?
What?
At what point was it a DQ match? No DQ match.
Didn't the referee fall over?
No.
Oh yeah, no. He threw so he had a chair and then he threw it to him and then kicked him in the head.
That's a DQ.
It's not though, because he didn't hit him with the chair. He kicked the chair to stop the other guy hitting him with the chair.
A DQ, you're using a chair.
We're doing Van Daminator.
Who's using the chair? Who's using? Because is the person holding the chair using the chair, or is the other person? Because he could have hit the other person.
Yeah, but he's using the chair to kick it into his face. That's a DQ.
If he'd have hit him with the chair, I think he'd have been DQ'd. But because he threw the chair and Spears held the chair, Spears was in control of the chair. He could have just put the chair down, but because he caught it and then looks like he's going to attack Cody with it, Cody's well within his right to defend himself by kicking the chair.
Let's consult VAR.
VAR means it's a DQ. There you go.
I mean, it doesn't, because I'm in control of VAR and I'm saying it's not a DQ.
Fight between the two referees in the VAR booth.
Come at me, bro. Yes, very much so. I thought it was a DQ personally, but
I mean, it was a bit of a shoddy finish, wasn't it? Like
contentious. Well, it sounds like things.
Crap.
But it was possibly them. I maybe think that originally they wanted this feud to end with Cody hitting Sean Spears in the head with a chair. Being told by Tony Khan under no circumstances are they doing that. So he thought, right, well, this is a way to get him hit in the head with a chair.
I guess, yeah. But then if Cody hits Sean Spears with a chair over the head, I mean, ignoring what Tony Khan has said, that makes Cody as bad as Sean. So therefore, that's not a redeeming quality in any way. Yeah. It's not revenge.
Does Cody need to have a redeeming quality though? At the end of the day,
yes, he does.
Yeah, he's not going to be for long though, is he?
Probably not for long, but he is at the moment. And whilst he's continuing that, eventually it's going to be him and MJF as a heel faction, and or as part of like a heel mini group, and I kind of like that. I like anything that MJF's in, so I'm fine with that.
Indeed.
Right, we need to crack on.
I know. I've just seen the time. The AAA tag titles ladder match. I can't remember what they called it in Spanish. Something de la Muerta. Escaladra de la Muerta. I don't know. I've absolutely
The
butchered
LAX.
that. No, I've absolutely butchered that.
The ladder match for the AAA titles. That's what he's trying to
Oh,
say.
that one. Yes.
So we had the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. And bearing in mind that Penta was injured.
Really?
Yeah. he was badly injured a week before and wasn't sure whether he'd be able to do it. And then they just I wish I was that injured because fucking hell, some of the shit that they were doing was unreal.
Nick Jackson died for our sins.
I mean, both of them died for our sins. One of them got driving onto a fucking ladder, and the other one fell off a ladder and
hit the ropes and then completely missed one of the tables. That looks nasty.
I think what happened was the ladder didn't have any grip on the bottom of it, so when he tried to push off when it was like halfway over, the ladder just went away from him, so he didn't get any of that extra distance that he was looking for.
And his leg, hit
the top rope. So he went shoulder first through the table that broke, and his head hit the table that didn't break.
It's nasty.
It's a nasty bump.
So nasty. Also, the what are they called? The Canadian Destroyer.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
And his head goes through the table, and I was
yeah. I mean, we're not going to remember all of the spots in this match because it was an incredible match,
absolute spot.
But,
but it was a good spot fest. It's not like a spot fest where
it's just
spot fake. It was
wrestling in there as well. There was a few bits where one of the Lucha Brothers was doing a frog splash onto a table through one of the Jacksons, whilst one of the Jacksons did a frog splash to the other Lucha brother.
That was cool.
And then they did it where they were doing spears to the outside and stuff, where one from each team was getting attacking and one was taking the hit. It was some pretty cool stuff. It was stuff that I'd not seen in tag matches before. I really enjoyed this match.
Definitely, and even Penta getting unmasked, fully unmasked.
Yeah.
I just added to the feud because these two, in kayfabe terms, friggin' hate each other.
Well, I mean, this fifth or sixth match against each other for those titles this year. Yeah. And even though that's the case, we saw stuff that we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember how did they finish with the pile driver, the package pile driver?
Yeah, so Nick Jackson had just gone through the tables to the outside. They then got the other one, Matt Jackson, and did that package pile driver where one of them jumps onto it and adds extra stuff onto a fucking ladder. Who wants to make a pile driver onto a ladder? What kind of freak are you?
Indie wrestlers, mate. They do what they want.
Yeah, I mean, and the ladder didn't even break. It was a ladder between the fence and the ring, and it didn't even break. But yeah, and it was good to see the Lucha Bros finally getting a victory over them in AEW.
Yes, and the fact that after the match we saw two masked figures wearing presidential masks, which I was
it was JFK and Ronald Reagan, I think, wasn't it?
I thought it was Bill Clinton, but
it might be Bill Clinton and JFK.
But it turns out that they attacked both teams, mainly focusing on the Young Bucks, and then they were unmasked to reveal Santana and Ortiz, who are LAX. I know very, very little about LAX.
I know they won't be called LAX in AEW because that's trademarked by Impact.
They called them Santana and Ortiz all the time. Yeah. They didn't say LAX because I'm sure because I'd read on Twitter that LAX turned up and I was like, oh, this must be LAX, but they're not referenced.
They're not allowed to call them LAX.
Well, they must not be allowed to call them that, so they'll probably have some new tag team name.
I assume
the LAX experience.
Because Santino and Ortiz just doesn't.
You didn't laugh. I said the LAX experience.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jericho, Adam Page. Adam Page came down to the ring riding a horse because why not?
Because they haven't tortured enough animals in this.
I actually enjoyed this match. Probably not as much as any other match on the card.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm really, really sorry to interrupt you because I've just seen something that's quite strange to do with NXT.
Right.
You know this show's going 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
The first hour is on the USA Network. The second hour is on the WWE Network.
What?
So USA Network begins live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then at 9 o'clock it Suits on the USA Network, and then WWE Network continues live at 9 p.m.
What?
So the first hour is on the USA Network. Second hour is on the WWE Network.
I'm looking at the same tweet you are. This is fucking stupid.
This is great. Yeah, you look at the Gorilla Position tweet.
Oh no, I'm looking at WWE at NXT saying
this is fucking dumb.
The first hour of NXT will air live on the USA Network. The second hour will live.
No. Wait. Interested to see that for the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So while Suits is still going on, I assume.
I presume it's because the Suits series is finishing off.
It's soonly finished. So hour 1 on USA is followed by Suits. Is this a way to get mainstream viewers over to the network? It's
slightly confusing launch strategy. Yeah. I do apologise for completely cutting across you there, but that's really interesting. If this is the first 2 shows, I get it. It's to try and scoop up some last-minute sign-ups to the network. Okay, it's a bit, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's just for 2 shows, according to the WWE website.
But then, how are the UK getting this show? By the way, has there been any sort of mention of this?
Yeah, so it goes on to the network 24 hours after it airs live.
Brilliant. So we don't get it.
Night. There's no talk about whether it's going into the BT deal or Sky deal. Sky haven't said anything about it, so I assume
they lose their deal in January, though, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they haven't said anything about picking it up. So I assume that we're definitely not getting it on TV until at least January. BT haven't commented on it at the moment, but they're not saying anything about what's happening with their WWE deal that they've got for the end. I think is it the end of January they pick it up?
Something or is it like that?
No, it's the start, I think.
But yeah.
Interesting.
That's just
interesting.
Sorry, I do apologise for cutting across you.
No problem, mate. That's cutting edge. Cutting edge. Getting in there. Back to the All Out pay-per-view, the main event. I saw a video which was a clipping from Jericho's podcast where lots of people have been saying this shouldn't have gone on last. A lot of people said it should be the tag team title match. Which, if you are WWE, that makes perfect sense. But Jericho rightly said, if you are wanting to show off the big title for this company, you want it on last. So, I completely agree with that.
It has to go on last. It's the first time that title has ever been held. It has to go on last.
It has to.
Even though
it's the most prestigious one in the company. It has to be last.
My issue is got a cripple man, loses belt man, can't go anymore, and Adam Page looked really rusty.
I can't really remember too much of the rustiness, to be honest. I don't know whether because I can't really remember.
Why was Jericho bleeding?
He went outside of the ring and bladed.
That was, I think, a callback to Fight for the Fallen.
Great.
Because Fight for the Fallen, Jericho busted open Page unnecessarily. Yeah. It was unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
It didn't add anything to the match at all.
It didn't.
He should have used the blading spot in the Havoc match. Chris Jericho, with all the will in the world, tweeted at Money in the Bank, nice to see a young guy winning the Money in the Bank contract, lol, and then has just won the main title in AEW, and he's 5 years older than Brock Lesnar.
But
Corbin. Sorry, I know that's a really, really weird reference.
Yes,
Corbin
yeah.
tweeted this, replied on an Instagram post about this, and it makes total sense because you're going, "Oh, you marks are basically shitting on WWE because we got old guys winning titles. Look at Jericho; he's just won a title." And this is Baron Corbin replying to to messages on it. It's perfect.
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's absolutely right as well. I mean, Jericho did need to win it. I'm sorry, people could disagree all they like, but Jericho did need to win it. They needed a big star to hold the title first, to give it to validate it.